to look back at last year, want to look forward to how it's actually going forward. Okay? Coming up now. Okay, some of the factors. We have contracts created with Conforming. Pulte created the neighborhood. Okay. Those of you that moved in June, you understand you had kids. Yeah. Contract was for 7 years. Yeah. Yours is up in there. You paid in your homeowner's dues approximately $8.50 per month to support that contract. And that included a basic coaxial connection into your home for your TVs to get basic coaxial cable. But this is something in the neighborhood of 60 channels. Somewhere in there. Those are all music channels. If you opted for additional features, so if you wanted to upgrade, you get one of their little cable boxes at the time. It costs you an additional whatever package you have to go for, but you got a discount at that time because of our neighborhood. And the discount varied upon whether you went with a package, including phone, etc. So what's the discount applied? And approximately somewhere between 20 and 30, I think we figured that out, is what you got for a discount. The internet options were not part of the contract. So in order to get cable, you obviously had to have the fiber line coming into your house. Most of you opted at that time to get internet because the choice it was. But with that contract, the HOA got a really big bonus in that we got comped all of the Wi-Fi and the internet, TVs, cable boxes we have in the TVs for the growth. So all of that was comped by Conforming. We haven't had to pay fiber lines, that was included. So Conforming announced last year, mid-year, they were dropping support for coax. For most companies, that's ended in December. Everybody here had been approached to box. They were approached to go to streaming. Coax is in our contract, so they will support us with the coax and with the boxes through the end of at that time, I didn't have coax will not work. We work with Conforming, contract ideas, and it would have cost the homeowner $67 a month, the best contract. That would have increased your dues from the 315, 13, $67. Pushing. We gave that to the board, and with the recommendation, so what happens next? The end of June, they'll coax TV support. We'll see what happens, but that's they're telling us it won't work. So don't even come. If you should receive a letter that you have to put in the box. You should receive a letter, I got mine last week, telling me that they would no longer be supporting coax. So everybody should have, no surprise. If you have TV packages other than basic cable, we've estimated the cost working with Conforming. you may see up to $50 a month increase in your bill. And that will start in June. And Comporium, you've asked them to notify you in your bills, which electronic bills should be even. In the bill should be a notice saying that you're going to see the increase, and hopefully the increase amount. So, if you have Comporium Stream TV, with Comporium, you don't have to do anything. Just gotta pay the extra money, you'll get charged starting in July. If you've got an internet-based TV streaming service in the Comporium, do anything. The internet-based TV streaming service on the Comporium, Comporium. Okay, yes. Sure. If you have Comporium Stream TV with Comporium, you absolutely don't have to do anything. Streaming will still work, your bill will go up. Okay, depending on what your package, I can't predict how much it will go up. We do have 3 people from some of that discussion. But you will see an increase. If you've got an internet-based TV streaming other than Comporium, you're happy. Your bill's not going to change. Again, internet based TV streaming with non-Comporium, again, no issue. If you're like me with basic cable coax, oh no, I have internet, sorry, basic cable coax with no internet service. You got to either purchase an indoor town, which we have one over here to show you, or subscribe to a streaming service and use an internet service such as Comporium or get into discussions, T-Mobile. If you've got the basic cable with Comporium internet service like I do, then if you want to continue to get local channels, you get an antenna or go to a streaming service. Yes. It's the Fire Stick. If you switched over yet, they were to go to a Fire Stick, and it's a streaming service. It's got an application you run on the Fire Stick. You got one on the TV. We'll show you in a few minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Internet is it's not. Yes. Yeah. The streaming replaced this box that sits up here on top of the TV. We can send out a copy, yes. These basically are the FAQs that were sent out last Thursday, I think. So hopefully you should get a chance to read through the FAQs. All I did was reformat them. Let's see, where are we? Basic cable. No. Your streaming service only works on a Comporium internet. So you have to have Comporium internet in order to use the streaming. So we asked for some questions, and here's the questions we have so far. The FAQ discussed increased costs to expect for those who utilize Comporium streaming. It doesn't indicate if those of us that just subscribe to Comporium internet will see a price increase. Like I said, you will not see a price increase if all you have is internet, unless they raise the price of internet over time. Will the IT committee provide options for internet companies other than Comporium? Comporium is the only option we have for hardwired internet in your house. Fiber optic in our case, that makes a good option. T-Mobile currently is available in the neighborhood. It's a 5G service. And rumor is that Verizon should be soon, if you win. They say it is, but if you wouldn't say I want it, they'll say, no, you can't have it yet. But Verizon should be coming. And those are 5G, those are the same thing that cell phones are using. My Stream TV with Comporium went up $50 2 months ago. I would be interested to know if there are other companies providing all the services that Comporium does. Comporium is the only one-stop option. They offer internet, TV streaming, phone, security. So all that is one stop. Yes.
You said that, or did I hear you right, that for you to have Comporium TV streaming, you have to have their internet?
Yes, for Comporium TV streaming, you need their internet.
So you can't use T-Mobile or somebody else?
No, you can't use T-Mobile if you want to use their internet. If you want to use their TV streaming.
I have another question.
Yes.
You said that if you went with Comporium again as, I guess, the community, that the HOA dues would go up $67.
Yes, your HOA dues would have gone up $67 in addition to what they currently are at.
But what happens if I select to keep Comporium? What's the difference? You wouldn't, my HOA fee won't go up.
Well, if you keep Comporium, I mean, the problem is that everybody would have to pay a $67 charge, even if they didn't want to use Comporium. Because there are so many options today. That would require everybody to pay 67. Plus, that would take your HOA dues up, pushing 400, which makes resale harder and harder. Higher your HOA dues. So that was the board decision. You can talk about this. Why they would. Yes.
Once you lose the basic cable, you will be standalone for your internet to go up. It's not going to stay the same. If you 28 is all you have to share internet, it's going to go up because it's not fast.
Well, you had a package, so they had. Corey, not the expert on this. You've ever tried to use the website? Corey has packages. You can buy a package. So at this time, yes, the package has to go up. The internet piece of that really is changing. It's the TV piece that's changing. Your TV, the price of the internet is $67 for anybody in here needs one of the basic. So $67, I think, is what the base price of that internet package is. That doesn't change. Your TV with it is what changes. Right, ladies? Okay. My Stream TV with Comporium went up $50 2 months ago. We went through this. I can't explain why their bill went up 2 months ago. It has to do with, you had a 2-year, I think, agreement when you sign up. In 2 years, it appeared that they went ahead and applied. It went up and yeah. Okay, I will talk to that one in a minute. We'll get to that one. All right, so back to this again. Comporium's the only one stop. Want anything else? You have to support. You have to.
I will note that online, I followed up with Verizon with my phone services, iPhone services with them. And I did online through typewriter chat, ask about what they had, and they indicated that their internet is available in the area FiOS TV was available with it. So when Verizon becomes available, you may get one stop.
Okay, in this time, everybody I know that has tried to sign up for Verizon has not been successful. I have not talked to anybody that's been successful. So yes, they may say in generalities it's available. When they finally comes down to your account, your house, it may not be.
Okay, but I wasn't asking them directly that. I was asking them if I did get their internet, what TV option?
Yeah, they do have fives. Right. Fives is what we have. Yes.
Are we gonna have alternative TV or is it only Comporium?
We'll give you a list of alternatives that you might consider. Okay? Some of them, there are a lot, I'll put it that way. Okay, again, what will be the cost of just having internet? It shouldn't change. I looked at my bill, it was $72 last month. And that's for basic. So that, unless they plan on increasing the rates for everybody, it should stay the same. Yes, sir. Again, if anybody thinks they need more than basic internet service, I'm sorry, ladies, but I know how the bandwidth works on the internet. Don't. And I don't think we have many gamers. Gamer is not a problem. It's when you have 3 or 4 kids gaming. Vendor fair, the T-Mobile and Verizon participate. That's a question for Laura to consider for our next vendor fair. That maybe something we can reach out to. The vendors pay a fee. Will they be willing to come in and pay a fee? Okay. I already have YouTube TV and Comporium internet with my current cost change. Is there a chance representatives from Comporium could attend the FAQ? We have 3 ladies that volunteered to show up today. I'm finished. I can't remember the mic. It's a question for my services with Comporium and I say go to I go say to YouTube TV. Who do I get my internet services from? Does it come from YouTube TV? No, internet service right now. I only know 2. Well, there's a third option with 4, maybe 4. I think there's 2 satellites. Last I knew, Musk satellite was not overhead of us yet, so we couldn't get it. And there's another company that's starting to offer satellite. And then you have T-Mobile and Comporium. That's the only option. No, it's satellite. It's internet over satellites. Auditions. Monday, I think. The HOA will not be able to tap on the roof. Don't do that yet, though. I read an article once that said they were approaching it. Yes, ma'am.
Come with any of the scenes you may pick? You might have answered that. In other words, if I go with YouTube and Comporium Internet, will I get that $50 increase?
No,
Stay with your
the
streaming?
price, $50 increase only applies to TV streaming.
So the one I'm on now,
Now, if you have one of their packages that includes internet, TV, security, telephone, I can't predict what your price increase will be. maybe these three ladies would be able to help with that somewhat. But there will be an increase, and we just went down one path, that showed us what the price would be. Based on just having a standard internet with a standard TV pack, or with a particular TV pack. Yeah, the question was. If I could repeat the question, can I remember it? Oh,
It's paying me $50
oh,
fee.
$50 fee. Is that, will that apply to everybody in the room based on what you have in your, what options you have for you? I can't say that it will be $50 for everybody. Representative. Okay. Would it be feasible to see a Spectrum do a bulk contract with Carolina Orchards? Now, region would like. They were supposedly approached when the development was first being built. And they declined to put cables in the construction. Again, I wasn't part of that, or anybody in the room that was, but that's what we had. What was the per home charge for the contract? Again, $850. Question that somebody asked earlier, will the ending in the with the ending of the contract, should we expect a decrease or at least no increase to our HIP? Well, I can't talk about what's gonna happen next year. But the budget this year, we knew this last, I think November, we finalized this with the contract. So we knew in November when we were doing the budget, that come July 1st, basically, we would no longer be paying at $8.50. So the budget was created with that in mind. So no, you will not see a change in July, it's still best. But it was prorated through the year. Now, also, one of the things that we have IT committee is working on with Comporium is, as I said, Comporium provided all of the internet and Wi-Fi in this building and the TVs. We are working with them on how we're going to transition now in June, July, we're going to continue with that service, what it's going to cost us. So it's not free. We are now going to have to pay for services free in this building. Okay, I'm Joe Watson, in case anybody didn't guess. I'm the chair of the IT committee. I've been chair of this committee since it was first formed as a task force. We've got Glenn Bridge, who is hiding in the back somewhere. He is
Just halfway back.
Jeff Wagner, Ryan O'Sullivan, and Carolyn Jaychuk, who is also hiding somewhere. There she is. Okay. All right, this is the eye test. Sorry about that. Some of the internet options. Reporting via fiber optic cable, T-Mobile 5G, or some like that. Good experiences, some not. Other 5G, Verizon. There's other companies out there that may also 5G in the future. Satellite support, like I said, I think there's at least 2 satellite companies providing internet. Yeah.
So was there ever AT&T ever considered? Remember early on it was written.
AT&T 5G, I don't know where the status is. Nobody has told me that they've tried to poach it in. So I don't know where they are yet. Anybody tried to look at AT&T 5G? I don't know. TV options, Comporium streaming, you know what you get for that, on list of however many channels you want. YouTube TV is an option, Hulu, DirecTV streaming, which used to be DirecTV now, I think. Dish Network, you can do a satellite dish. There are SCAD options. It all depends on what channels you watch. provider you're gonna get. Personally, I have like my streaming service, I can't keep track of. But I have one for local. Consumer Reports, it's Rob Duncan. Last month they updated a report they did on streaming video services. But it's interesting, you can go to their website, consumerreports.org, do a search for guide to streaming video services. And you'll find the article, actually, 2 articles, 1 questions. Guide to streaming services. It's helpful, but they only cover, they don't cover all the services, but they cover the major ones. Phone options. Some of you have home phones. Explain to me later why you. No, you have if you have your own alarm system, sometimes you need a home phone. But there are other reasons if you want to do that. Options, Concordium, obviously. Uma, somebody said, long ago, they have a free option, you can buy the account, and after that, it doesn't cost you. Uma. They still have, yes. Again, like I said. But if you have to call, yeah, if you call support, yeah, all bets are off. Remember the language you do? Exactly. But I can say this. Well, 1 point, I don't know anything about 1 point was voice. Our office up front is run with a whole voice system. My HP is good when it works. I have no problem with this. Okay, yeah. We are sitting over here on the table. We'll time into. This is what is an HDMI antenna. High definition antenna. One option. I had one that was full flat panel. 12x12 square that you put on the window. This morning Jeff tested it. He got. What is the channel? It is 37. 37 in the sales center here. So just to give you an idea, that gives you all your locals around shopping. Those are all available. Jeff, good quality. Right? The thing about
so this happens to be one I bought for our spare bedroom. And the beauty of these, once you pay for it, there's no charges, monthly charges. But it's nice if the internet goes out, you can get TV coverage. So what I bought for our house has these little antennas that are adjustable. You try to put it as close to a window as you can. But I bought what's called an amplified version. It has built-in amplification, which gives you a stronger signal. So price range $50 or less. Walmart, Target, Amazon. I bought it thinking I could return it from Walmart, and I ended up keeping it. So you may buy one and find it doesn't do exactly what you want, or the channels aren't strong enough. The thing about this particular one, there's an app on the phone. This is an RCA monitor. An app on my phone, I can tell the signal strength. It gives me a map. It tells me where the signals are coming from. So depending on where you live, you may get different reception.
Yeah.
This is called a HDTV amplified antenna. And this one that I bought has 55-mile range.
I mean, there are a lot of options. I had one in my last. The HOA didn't allow me to put it outside at that time. So mine was in the attic and I could get a ton of channels just in Raleigh, outside of Raleigh. Well, I haven't seen it again. Somebody in the neighborhood, I don't know whether they're here or not, has one in their attic. Somebody told me. So there's a lot of options for that if you want, just that, but remember, we're all spoiled, you can't record. Unless you get a box. And you only watch, limited when you do it, so. Would be the end. Okay, so. Now, question, Carol. I don't think anything outside your house should change. No, the boxes, if you still have one of those, the last I heard was those are, take them over to Best Buy and recycle. They don't want them back, they're yours. All those cable connections, all those coax, those are yours now. They will. You can, one way we can, now remember there is a cable. Firewire, don't cut that, you're gonna use it for a minute. I won't cut that. If I wouldn't do it. There is a cheap way you can use those splitters they have on these. Into the splitters. Once you disconnect their cable that comes out of the big square box, it goes into the first splitter. That once you disconnect that, the splitters are yours. So, yep. Okay. Yes. With the amplified antenna, you can split it several times. I don't know how many it would go. So yeah, I mean, I split mine and we got last couple. Philip.
Yeah, which cable service do you use personally?
I never used it for your TV, okay? So I'll be upfront, other than the basic cable, I used it for some things, or the basic, mainly to see 115. Which I don't think we will have. Still working that. I use internet, basic internet. Was using DirecTV Now. I was with the early adopter of DirecTV Now, if anybody remembers. It was $39 for life. They lied. They sold it to AT&T and promptly bought it back. And all of a sudden it went up to 125. So I'm no longer using DirecTV Now. I am using YouTube TV. It's just what I personally use. One of many options. You can record on YouTube. You have unlimited recording. No limit, but they delete after 9 months. So well, that 850 was already accounted in the budget. Well, no, what we did was when we created the budget, I wasn't the finance committee. Talk more to it. They knew that we would only pay $850 a month through June. And after June, we had some amount just for the grove that is separate. So the calculation for your monthly fees was based on that bill going away in June, averaged out. You will see, if you look at that line item, it may drop it will drop in amounts. Okay, on the monthly reports, you will see a drop. If you be putting money for the HO, for the building here. We're looking at the details of that. Right, she told me today, she tries to get the numbers. The problem we have is that we have equipment in here, it's a Cisco mesh system, it works really good for our Wi-Fi. There's 8 repeaters inside and outside. Unfortunately, they can't sell us that equipment. They can only lease us that equipment because they're not selling. And so they're trying to figure out how to charge us. So. Sales center is already set up. We have same internet Wi-Fi networks are in the sales center. Not physically the same network, but they're the same network names, and it works. Okay, I have three people that just love to answer questions. Now, one more back here. If you just have internet basic, you don't have to do anything. It's a month by month up to that, I think. $72. I mean, that's what I've been doing. Yeah. All right. Now, I would like the three ladies, if they were introduced.
Hello, I'm Kristen Spencer. I have a text in from their we will be here to answer questions. If you have any, hopefully you only have one, but we'll be good to go after that. I will say after this meeting, if any of you have any additional questions or concerns, we will gladly filter those out. It may take us a day or so to get back to you, but don't hesitate. Y'all have our direct numbers. We're fine. We don't mind the call. I do want to make a couple clarifications on a few things. Did a great job on everything, perfectly fine. I just kind of wanted to give a little more insight on a couple things we're going to be doing, help maybe relieve some anxiety. So one thing, you guys did pay $8 and some change for the bulk rate. I will note that hasn't increased the whole 7 years when everyone else has gotten increased across the board. So that rate has stayed the same. There's one thing when you're in a wholesale bulk rate, the way things are done is at a great discounted rate, which means everybody in the neighborhood is paying that regardless whether you watch it or not. One thing moving to a non-bulk rate, you can't sign up for the exact same service. It all goes through the FCC and it's regulated and everything else. There's something called a broadcast station fee or local service charge that each one of you will see going forward. That rate in itself is where the bulk increase comes in for this change of your contract expiring. That in and of itself is approximately $33 and some change a month. That fee, Comporium does not keep. That fee is provided and sent to the broadcast stations to allow us to see their channels on their network. So that is a pass-through fee. That is part of that. When we say $50, between what the basic charge really costs and your broadcast station fee, only about $20 is it that we actually goes to Comporium. The rest of it, all that, 33 and some change, goes to like your ESPNs, your NBCs, ABCs, it goes to those people. We write the check and send it over, so every time we added our customer, that is sent there. They do discount it if it's a wholesale bulk rate, they don't when it's individual rate. So just so you all kind of know that. Also, you will notice, if you do, I know you've mentioned YouTube TV, Hulu, perfectly fine, streaming services, everyone's going to. At the same time, there's different cases, you will notice, and you can elaborate a little bit more on this. YouTube TV, Hulu. They're over the internet, it's a different type of platform than what Spectrum or Comporium has. The streaming, because we are technically a provider, a different type of provider than the YouTube TV, which means YouTube and Hulu don't have your broadcast station fees. They don't have your local service of $33. Spectrum has it and Comporium has it. So that's one thing you'll notice is the difference when you're looking at it, why yours higher and theirs is not. You won't have that with YouTube TV. So we'll answer questions with that as well. Couple things, the guys did really good laying everything out. What we're going to do is kind of how we're going to execute everything. Service will stop as of the end of June for billing. After that, there's still a slight grace period in the way we're moving things over, just so nobody has to worry. What we're gonna do is we will proactively, if you are currently on a bundle right now, we are going to change it to the best bundle that we have available, regardless. And I have gotten it approved to give the new customer offer to you in order to help mitigate some of that increase in charge. So if you have a bundle that you are currently on, a bulk bundle now, we will proactively start to change those based on your bill cycle. So if you get your bills at the first of the month, I'll start writing all the orders and we'll send it through and get it done at the end of June, so it works for you and your bill's correct in July. Everybody's July bill should be the current rate. Now, some of you will see a decrease because we're automatically changing it. Some of you will see an increase because it might not have been billed correctly. However, we're going ahead and proactively doing all that to help you, so you don't have to try to worry about that. At the same time, if you currently subscribe to just basic, that is what is provided to you. You don't have anything else except internet. We will cancel that account for you. You don't have to worry about it. We will write it out. The account will be terminated. Your internet will stay active, but the basic only will terminate for you, so you don't have to worry about it. Anything else?
How long will the new rate apply?
Do it.
How long will the new customer rate apply?
12 months. Most of all the offers are for 12 months and there are step ups slightly after that. Now, it's not a contract. So at any time you can upgrade, downgrade, cancel certain services if you want. We are just trying to look at it to give you the best option possible.
Streaming and internet considered the bundle, or do we have to have the phone and security?
You don't have to, but you can. So some people have phone and internet and security. We'll look at that, which is the best rate to put it on. I'll put a list of everything and we will group. If you have phone, we're gonna put you in this bucket so that you can get a discount on it. So unlimited long distance, we look at all that. So we're trying to separate it into if you have what we call double plays, which is 2 services like internet and video, and triple plays, which is internet, video, and telephone. So we're gonna go and we're gonna group them. We're gonna change them all for you. Like I said, most, it kind of washes a little bit, maybe a little bit slightly off, but it's the best way we can do it so that you don't see a drastic $50 decrease.
What is the rate for the internet phone and video?
What,
Internet.
do you currently have a bundle now or anything? Do you have internet now? It doesn't change. It's staying the way it is. If you currently have internet, no bundle or internet by itself, you're not touching the internet account. No, sir, I'm not touching the price on the internet. Currently have a deal on internet, it stays the same. The only thing we're gonna touch is if you're in a bundle to help with that because of the video. Anything that has video bundled with it, that's the one we're gonna proactively update and try to help you. Yes, if you currently on the screen, we're looking at everybody in front of the window, in full fun. Okay, I'm sorry. She had already switched over to Stream TV last year when everybody else was. So going ahead and switching over to Stream, her question was, would she also be able to receive the same new offer as someone who is not on Stream? And the answer is yes. Regardless whether you're Stream or not, because Carolina Orchard is bulk and we're moving you to non-bulk, anyone who has that video bundle will apply.
Some residents provide fire space by Conforia with this streaming. Is that an option?
If they're on traditional, there's about 15, I think, still on traditional, they will get the one fire state like the others. Yes, we still honor that. Sir,
Right?
yes, sir.
I assume that there are a lot of different combinations that people have. How are you gonna communicate to each of us and when?
So what will happen in June, we're gonna start writing all the orders. You have a double play, we're automatically taking you to the best double play that we have, and you will see it on your July billing statement.
Are you gonna let us know before we see a bill?
We're already telling you that, far as, I'm telling you now that you're gonna have it on there that says your rates will reflect. Now, if you wanna know the exact price, we can call, we can tell you exactly what that's gonna be. We can look at your individual account now and see where you're at. I mean, if you're paying $185 right now, we'll put you on a new customer offer and pay you to $145, $150. That's in your favor.
But when are you gonna do that?
June, based on your bill cycle, starting in June, we can't touch anything until June 30th. So once that happens, we will start writing on going forward for your July billing. So if you got a question prior to that, we can pull your bill and tell you what it's going to be before June. It's just know during that time, you're still getting what you're getting. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm still confused on the bundle thing. If we have internet and streaming, is that a bundle?
You could be in a bundle. There are bundles that are given that give an additional discount on a monthly basis. Some people's bundles expired and they never added a new bundle or don't care to add a bundle. We're looking at those individuals that are even paying without a promotional bundle already added. We're looking at all those accounts as well. If you don't see, if there's a line item that says promotional bundle, then you're probably not getting it now, but you will probably see it on you should see it. If you keep it the same, depending on what qualifies in it, you should see it on that July bill. It's only full. Okay, we can look at it to see, they're supposed to be quoting you what it is to give individuals the heads up of what it's supposed to be, so that you will know. Well, I need to look at your account and you just walk. It may change again. Yeah, if we can look at it, pull it and say what you currently own, what they changed you to, probably did it, and they changed you, and what it will be.
Can we try to keep quiet? Sure.
Any of,
the 600 megabyte. Going forward, if we choose to have the internet, instead of the YouTube TV like it suggested, what are my alternatives as far as the internet? Gigabytes per second. I know there's like the 100 megabytes per second.
We have a couple different ones. There's one that's 100 megabytes, but normally our standard is 300. People go to. You are welcome to downgrade to any of those if you'd like. There's no charge to do that.
If I went with just the internet service by itself, and cut the other package deals, just went with the internet service, and I chose to look around what you have with the 100 versus 300 versus 600. What are the individual prices per month for those three?
Standard starts at, I think it's 76.94. Ultra 86.94, and Elite, it goes up from there. I will say this, if you are not hardwired and your equipment can't handle the additional speeds of pulling that, most of the time you're not gonna see like 600 to a gig unless you're hardwired, and that's pretty much being connected to everything to where most do go with standard and cover it perfectly fine. If you wanna upgrade, if you wanna downgrade it, there's no charge to you whatsoever, we'll put the order in. Okay.
How long is this contract gonna be good for? Like, can we get a 2-year contract for this new, or is it gonna be a limited 1 year?
Well, it's not a contract, so if you decide to change any kind of one, but promotions for 12 months. After 12 months, you can go to a different one, usually we have a step up you can go to, or if you say, I don't video anymore, I just want the internet, you can do that as well, it's option, your option. Is that good? He just asked for the offer that we're going to put you to. Can you get like a 2-year or longer, and it's only for 12 months, and you can change it at the end if you want, or change anytime between now and then.
The security service, you have a different service, and the equipment has to be changed out.
So you have another provider for security like ADT or CPI, Green, that is fine. You can keep that. We don't have to swap that whatsoever. We're only dealing with the video portion of it. So if you have Ring, you're fine. If you have our internet, you're fine.
So you provide security, not the equipment.
We provide security, but our security is through alarm.com. And it's a whole system, but it's not
So there's
regular.
a lot.
No, you'd have to use their equipment. You'd have to change to the alarm.com equipment. Yes, yeah, if you wanna use their security, you have to change to their security.
Yes, you have to pay for the equipment and any additional fees that you would want, your additional cameras, what you want on your house, yes. Yes,
Just
sir.
to be clear, the only thing that is changing is the coax TV. That's the service that is going away.
I will recommend on that, I know someone had made mention of, could they just cut the lines? I highly recommend you don't cut lines. Highly recommend, because I don't want your neighbor getting mad at you either because you cut the line. So fiber is very tricky, and if you cut it, I don't want, I hate for you to have to call in, someone else went out and then they're upset, and it's because we cut the line. If you have any questions about the cables or what cables can be used or not, just call, we'll send one of the repair guys out there to check it. So just don't cut it, if we need to, we can take care of it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, we will have business cards up here that you can contact us, correct? If you prefer not to go to the call center, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Not a Comporium plant, but I want to say I went on the streaming and the internet whenever they changed over in December. And I'm very, very well pleased with performance. So anybody who is desiring about thinking the Comporium streaming and the internet, I mean, something that's technical, it works beautiful. And the Comporium did a great job of form, you give me a month free for that.
I would say, to her point, I appreciate that, the guys are really good, and the things that's really good about everyone goes. We do have, should you be at our Stonecrest store, which is right over on 160. They do have a TV in there if you need to see it for any reason. If you want to see it, see how it operates. We have it set up there close by, so that you can actually do that and take a look at it before you prefer. Yes, sir.
It sounds like there's a lot of folks that have never even heard the word streaming before, and I've heard of it, but I know how it works a little. Would you guys be willing to come out and talk again? For if there's, I'm assuming there's 10 or 20 people that would love to hear a little more. After today, they can go home, digest, look at their notes. Would you guys be willing to come back out and talk to us again?
Of course, we will gladly come in. If not, what we could do is we'd always bring a tech with us. Our installation and repair guys are great. They can go even further in depth. Sometimes when we have little forums like that, we bring one with us. Because sometimes it is a little more technical than what we're talking with. So, yes, if that's preferred, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And. The people will recognize the but everybody else is extremely, not
Okay. I'll see if I need to get your information before you leave, if you don't mind, because it could just be something slightly off. Tech support was probably trying to troubleshoot some things, and what we'll do is we'll get repair out there to check it. See if we can get it. So, see you before you leave. Sure, I mean, we can look at it for the day. We've got some time. I don't mind within that whatsoever. We can look at it. Any of them we can't get through. Give us your address. We'll filter it through and send you what. We'll even do it that way. I mean, even if I don't have time to get to you, if I want real, just be able to get some study. But if not, if not, what we'll do is we'll get the address. We'll let
Stop it there. They'll be up here to help you. We also have them here the fire station. So thank you for coming.
And
Hey, how are you? Good.